Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mart, London. Our morning obeisances to you all. We're very happy that you've joined us again here today, and we apologize for the little delay at the beginning. We had some technical issues. So we're here today to run through Sri Upadesamrta verse 4. But before we start, we just wanted to go through the homework from yesterday. Was that someone asking something? Can everybody hear okay? Yeah. Okay. So
Sorry, I think my translation is not set.
Yeah. She's in as a translator, but it's not actually working.
you are actually
Something came up on my screen here.
just try say something now, Didi.
And unmute.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
I can hear
We're hearing
English.
you.
You can.
She's unmuted though.
So
Maybe she's muted. Yes.
Tell her to log back in with her email, whatever that link you gave her for the internet.
The email that you signed in with today, did you log in with that just now?
yes.
Okay, then
Can you ask Mary so that she's in the room? Ask her if she can host. She can be the host, and you can. She can admit her something.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas
Okay.
Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So they're just sorting out a few technical details, and in the meantime we can chant Vandeham, auspicious beginning. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Prarayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Kora Tvije Namaha and Jai Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga Sunda and Giriraj Radha Girirhariju here in the London Bhakti Yoga Institute, of which we have our class today, and sitting me behind the desk and with the students on their best behavior sitting in front and really looking like angelic students. So they're doing very well. So we'll begin anyhow, translation, a little hiccup with the arrangement of the translation just now, but we'll now just run through the first 3 verses, and today will be the fourth. So the translator for Portuguese, they won't miss anything, but we'll also gain a little bit because we'll do revision. So text number 1 of Upadeśāmṛta. So are we saying the Sanskrit as well? No, we've just, okay. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam uddaro pasta vegam etan vegam yo vishaheta dhiraha sarvam apimam prīti-lakṣaṇam shishyat. But the translation which we really want to get into our minds, the 6 items that if we will follow these 6 items, then one can instruct the entire world, can give actual instruction to the world. So the urge to speak So the six urges, the urge to speak, the urge of the belly and the what? Speech, mind, anger, anyhow. Speech, mind, anger, and then taste, volume, the belly, wanting more and more food unnecessarily, and the genitals, unrestricted genital desire for sex. So the six urges which are to be controlled, we have some duty to do over our urges, to be a controlled person, not uncivilized. Okay, number 2, then we'll come straight to the translation. One whose devotional service, this is much shorter, bhakti is destroyed by these 6 faults. There you are, that's concise. Over accumulation, overeating or over getting things, over endeavor for mundane things, unnecessary talk, especially related to anything which is not Krishna consciousness, and it is unnecessary. Then misapplication of rules, to either follow too strictly all the rules without the substance behind it, or to neglect the rules and be uncivilized, basically, without just doing things whimsically oneself. Then 5, associating with non-devotees, and today we'll hear more about what is association. And then number 6, saying fickleness. Fickleness. So normally we were always brought up with this one, that to hanker after material things, to see. So I suppose it is fickleness. The mind is looking at this, looking at that, looking at that. The mind must be focused on our spiritual life. So fickleness is the translation that we have here. So this is verse 2. So these 6 items, that 6 urges and then the 6 restrictions, so that we get a base to start our positive journey. Now, the 3rd verse we covered yesterday, so this is revision, is Utsahan nishchayat dhairyat tat karma pravatanat sangatyagat satovrithe shadvi bhakti prasidyati. We're now positive and progressive, optimistic. The 6 principles favorable to the execution of devotional service. What's it say? Whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, so 1, being enthusiastic, being confident. That doesn't mean arrogance, but confident. I'm going the right way. Here's the journey. And being patient is number 3. Then number 4, following the devotional practices that are being given to us. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, etc. 9 principal devotional practices. 5, the positive resolve to abandon association with the non-devotee section. And number 6, the positive, following in the footsteps of the great acharyas, following the advices that they've been given and shown by their example. So now we're on our way. 1, 2, 3 verses, all giving us direct instruction about the prohibitions, but then the positive side. And then now the positive side is going to become even more positive in the next 3 verses. So these 3 verses we've covered. The next 3 verses are all about sadhu sangha, associating with devotees, how to see the devotees, and how to honor the devotees, and how to see the devotees. So the next 3 verses out of 8 verses of giving us our instruction of how to proceed, we've now got 3 which are all devotee-centered. So we can understand that devotees are very important. So do we have our translation all running now, happily?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so those who missed the first part, with a little hiccup with the translation, no problem. We simply have made an invocation, the Vandeham invocation, etc. And then we just did some revision to bring us to verse number 4, which is the first of verse 4, 5, and 6. Let's see. And verse number 4 is about association. What is sadhu sangha, basically? So here we have on the board, and if you can see that, we can say the Sanskrit slowly together, and then we can discuss a little bit about the content. So, verse 4 of Sri Upadeśāmṛtam, slowly together. Dadāti pratigṛhṇāti guhyam ākhyāti pṛchchhati bhuṅkte bhojayate chaiva ṣaḍ-vidhaṁ prīti-lakṣaṇam. And so in this translation, so there are six items. So six. The first three verses, all are 6 items to focus. Here, 6 items. That is offering, giving gifts and accepting gifts. That's 1, 2. Giving gifts to the sadhu, accepting their remnants, accepting gifts from the sadhus. And then number 3, discussing, saying here, but revealing one's mind in confidence, revealing one's heart, discussing, if you like, Krishna, one's heart, and then enquiring confidentially. It's one thing to reveal one's mind, this is my situation, that's number 3, and then number 4 is to enquire. Now I revealed my mind to you. Now number 4 is inquiry. So these are quite easy to remember. Each of these 6 items, they're not difficult to remember. If we just think about what we used to remember at school and all those long lists, we have to remember by tomorrow morning, you know. These are very short, but we need to try to put them in our heart. So offering gifts to the sadhu, receiving gifts from the sadhu, then revealing our mind in confidence, and then inquiring confidentially, receiving, so offering and receiving our mind, if you like, offering confidentially and then receiving confidential advice. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, leaves only 5 and 6. 5 and 6 are giving here, giving food and taking food. Here is using the word food, but giving foodstuffs to the sadhu and accepting prasadam from the sadhu. This is the principle. So giving food, accepting, giving and accepting. So this whole idea that we are giving and accepting. So in the beginning we're giving charity, charity, gifts. We're giving gifts to the sadhus, and that's a natural feeling. And then when we receive something from the sadhu, it's a natural feeling. Oh, I've got something special. I've received this, maybe only a flower, but it's a flower. And we also have devotees who've given many things to Guru Maharaj, and then they receive one flower and coming out with that one flower, and they're very happy. Saraswati knows who I'm referring to here, one devotee. And anyhow, so giving, it is natural to want to give something to a great personality. Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, you just want to give. But to receive something from them, it's another form of the transaction. They will give something to us, maybe a piece of cloth, maybe many things, but we will accept that prasadam. And this, we can understand, is making some affectionate bond. Giving a gift to somebody means there's an affectionate bond. Receiving a gift is not a selfish thing. I make a list of what I want. You give me. Like sometimes we hear children, before Christmas, they make a list. I want this, I want this. But the idea of giving something unconditionally to the sadhu, we're just giving to satisfy them. And then receiving, and they're not trying to purchase us or anything. They're giving us something out of mercy, mercifully giving. It's a natural, affectionate dealing. And then revealing one's mind in confidence. This is number 3. In order to reveal your mind to someone, you've got to have some appreciation for that person, that they're not going to hear what you're telling and then tell everybody else, oh, you know how bad that person is, they're thinking in this way. you need some confidence in the person in which you're going to be sharing your private thoughts. And so you don't go sharing your private thoughts anywhere and everywhere. You go to that person who you've got some faith that I'm telling you all of this, but for what end? That now the sadhu knows my condition, the condition of my mind. As they say, knows where you're at. They know where I'm at. They know the condition of our mind. Maybe something's troubling us, or just simply we're expressing, this is how I'm feeling these days. And then asking to, enquiring confidentially means we're asking to that sadhu, then how should I proceed? Maybe how can I get out of my present difficulties, or from where I am, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm thinking, I feel, should I be doing something else? And maybe we've said, no, stay where you are. Or maybe completely change. But we're inquiring, so we're getting some advice from somewhere. But to do that, then we have some commitment. Because if we really are coming to Gurudev, we're coming to Guru Maharaj, we're coming to the sadhu in whom we have appreciation, then if we are asking their advice and they say something to us, we should do it. I mean, that will be showing that really we're asking advice, not I'm going to anybody and everybody and then collecting 10 opinions and then I'll decide. But the perfect, I mean, that has its value in a certain level, but the perfect transaction is where we can have somewhere where we can confidently reveal our mind, where we feel we're not going to be betrayed or that information be misused. And then what we have also come there to get advice. This is my situation. Whatever you say, we're ready to do. So everywhere there's gradation of how we reveal. Everywhere there's gradation of, okay, I'm getting advice, but I think that's beyond me. I'll just do something else. But really to have appreciation for the Vaishnava will be, I'll take that advice. He's giving me something which is helpful for my spiritual journey. And then the last two, the devotees seem to remember these very nicely. To offer, to distribute prasad, to give, and also to receive. And when this is in relation to, you can understand, if that opportunity comes from the hand of a pure devotee and to the plate of a pure devotee, then how beautiful it is. And devotees absolutely compete to serve Gurudev when he goes traveling somewhere. Like everybody wants to serve Gurudev. I want to serve them. I want to serve. And they're all fighting in the kitchen, blood. No, not quite like that, but spiritual competition. That the desire to serve, prasadam, to satisfy by serving. But also there is a very great happiness when, and we've been, Gurudev is managing the distribution. He's distributing prasad to the devotees. He is getting much joy, and the devotees really taking prasadam, taking mercy. Gurudev is, and then Gurudev saying, give more here. Then you don't say no. Then if Gurudev saying, give more there, then, some extra mercy is coming. That's one aspect. But another aspect is that we are coming to supply for Guru, for the Lord, for the Vaishnavas who are serving the Lord. And so traditionally, we go out begging. And in Thailand, we see every morning they go out, the monks, they go out with bare feet and they go out with their begging thing. And they go around the villages begging. They come, they bring back whatever they have, and they give that to the priest. Well, probably not the priest. Anyway, they bring that back to the kitchen. And then that material they brought, they give there. They're not then themselves taking that food. Oh, I got all this today. I'm going to eat all of this and have a big belly. They're giving it to the center. So this idea. It's not everything in the Buddhist line that we're going to say there. We've got a good example, but there we have that example, collecting and then giving that. And giving that, you can say to the cooks, but you're giving that for the service, in our case, the service of the Lord through the devotees. And then that is, that then accepted and becomes prasadam, and then that is taken by the devotees. And if you come, and it happened many times, devotees come with fruits. And one devotee, Prafula Krishna Prabhu, maybe with us, I'm not sure, from Brazil. He was such a hearty person for finding the best fruits in Calcutta. And he would come and all these amazing fruits and things. And I said to him, I've never seen in Bengal these fruits and everything. He said, no, I had to go here. And he really searched out these fruits. And he'd bring a big basket of fruit to Gurudev. And Gurudev also very, amazed, and he's accepting it graciously. And then one of the assistants kind of, Gurudev saying, okay, what this is, and then they cutting open the fruit. Gurudev's taking some fruit, and then Gurudev's distributing to the devotees who are around. I mean, so sweet that just coming to give to Gurudev, and then Gurudev distributing mercifully that prasadam that he's taken. So this idea of giving the raw materials, giving the foodstuffs to the sadhu, but to the guru when we have that opportunity, and then receiving their remnants from them. So distributing prasadam, accepting prasadam, they all have different angles of seeing, if you like, of how we can see, because the regular distribution of prasadam from the buckets and the regular receiving prasadam from the buckets is included there, and we know it's a loving exchange. And some devotees really want to serve, and they won't be happy to take until everyone's satisfied, and maybe not all the preparations are left. Some are left, but they're getting some muri and yogurt when everybody else got channa and chutney and chili. Well, they probably got chili with the yogurt, with their muri too. But they may eat very simply, but they're fully satisfied because they distributed. So it's, in a way, it's natural that one will gain affection for the sadhu section. One will gain affection by each of these practices. And as we said about giving gifts and accepting gifts, it's a natural feeling which comes. And revealing one's mind in confidence and then enquiring confidentially. It's a natural confidential relationship, a loving relationship. And then the word he used here is prīti. Prīti means love, affection. And then this last two that we just mentioned, the offering of the foodstuffs and raw materials, and the offering of prasadam, and the receiving, the remnants or receiving prasadam. These two also, we know it. It is a natural way to increase our affection, bond, relationship, family feeling, etc. So in Bhagavad Gita, when we read Bhagavad Gita, many things which are mentioned there, especially when we first learn, oh, you're not the body, and this is all these things. Nobody ever pointed it out to us, throughout all of our life until we came to Krishna consciousness. But when we hear many of these things, then automatically we say, yes, of course. Yes, it strikes a tick mark in the heart. It's just that now it's been pointed out, and then we can focus. And so similarly, with several things, humility, tolerance, giving honor, and not wanting honor, we can say, really, yes, we can think that that is a very good way to live. But when it's pointed out to us, and pointed out to us from above, that they have selected these as the crucial things for us to do, then we also realize, okay, it's not only a tick mark, and I didn't really think of it in such a way before, but now it's focused on, or in the, in the theater, you've got so many people in the theater, but the spotlight will spotlight the main character. And so this way, there are many things in the theater of our life, but there are things which are to be spotlighted for our particular attention. So these 4 ways to increase our loving relationship with the devotees, with the sadhus, and everyone who's coming in our line is a sadhu. Gurudev is saying this, and you look at so many, sadhus who really, maybe dressing in cloth and everything to feed their bellies, but really you talk with them and there's very little understanding of what is a sadhu. They just, and I'm talking about India here, where you do commonly see, sadhu people. But we have interviewed for documentary many people, and surprisingly, there's very little bit rare to find, who's got a proper, even somewhere in the line of a conception of even a fraction of what Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Srila Rupa Goswami, who's giving this, are giving. So you are all sadhus, everyone who's come with this appreciation. So it's not, we're only going to do these activities if we have a pure devotee, and I'll have to analyze, is he or she pure before I give them a present, or they're going to give me a present. Are you a pure devotee? Oh, no, we'll accept your present. Thank you very much. And anyway, we have to really understand the value of our own association, the association we are in, and we do have the ideal of the association of our masters and what they've shown us. And yesterday in the number 6 of the items, the favorable items which will assure success, is to follow that example of the pure devotees. So we do have all of these ducks in a row, as they say. We've got all these favorable environments, favorable association, favorable guidance, favorable opportunity to put into practice what we are being guided. And remember, this is by Rupa Goswami, the head of the Sampradaya. So we may think, oh, I could have thought of these things. But the head, the deepest thinker, the most aware of the very goal of existence, of beauty, sweetness, charm, ecstasy, they are giving these very key points. He is giving these very key points. And so we really need to take seriously, but what is our taking seriously is to put them into practice. And these 3 verses, so today's verse is this one, and then how we honor the devotees, and then how we see the devotees. This is all very important because we come to Krishna through the devotees, not Krishna alone. And so we need to behave properly with devotees. We need to be able to associate in a way which will be favorable with the devotees and not in a way which will be unfavorable. Because aparad, being unfavorable, especially with the Vaishnavas, is regarded as the most dangerous of all the offenses. And so out of 8 verses of instruction, 3 verses specifically given to the relationship with the Vaishnavas. And the very beginning is, our relationship is not one of a school teacher and students. Our relationship is one of affection, sweetness, charm, beauty, etc. And this is the relationship between all the residents of Goloka Vrindavan. And that's the journey, that's where we're being prepared for. We're getting acclimatized for that environment. So these are a few words from me to get started, and we must remember that we want to have feedback from you, but at home, but you here also. And our students are all sitting behind desks with pen, paper, and looking really like angelic students. I hope at home you are sitting behind a desk and looking angelic as well. Hare Krishna. Yes, I looked at my Zoom. You are all looking like angels. Very good. Oh, so many without your video on, but your names look like angels' names. Not angels, more than angels. Vaishnavas are more than angels. Hare Krishna. Yes, one question, and I'll repeat the question in case you can't hear it so well. We've been trying to arrange, or our dear devotees have been trying to arrange the microphones, but I'll repeat the essence of the question too. Hare Krishna.
When someone is revealing their minds in confidence, and there's usually some kind of, and then it can get into, usually it's something around a disturbance or a trauma of some kind. So at what point do we structure the revealing of somebody's processing of their disturbance and trauma to either senior devotees or a professional?
Can we just
So-
can we just see, could they hear, just to check if they could hear? Yeah, they have.
No, they couldn't hear. Okay, so the question was that, and correct me, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, that when revealing one's mind in confidence, then you're mentioning that often it's due to trouble and disturbance, trauma like this. But we could question that. Not everybody's living in such a troubled, traumatic world. But then how to structure the question, is that right? How to structure the question to the sadhu?
How to structure the response.
Well, that's up to the sadhu, isn't it? Our duty is to reveal our mind, and then we can inquire in confidence, and then how the sadhu will form their answer, that's up to the sadhu. We are in the position where we will reveal our mind and inquire, and whether he responds with a stick or whether he responds with a golabjaman, that is up to his matter, but that is in his hand. And if we're really coming to the devotees, they're always our well-wisher. And you can see Gurudev can be very strong, and Guru Maharaj very strong, we've seen certainly, but they are always giving the affection because they know that the whole family world in the spiritual sense is full only of affection and not of being forced to do something. But I suppose it's common that trouble and trauma inspire us to make inquiry to somebody. I need relief. But it's not always trouble and trauma. And we can think of devotees who steadily doing service and years, and they're simply asking. And one devotee in particular, he come and meet Guru Maharaj, and he simply say to Guru Maharaj, are you happy with what I am doing? And already he knows, so he doesn't have to reveal his mind in that sense, because that was very close relationship. And his question will be, Gurudev, are you happy with what I'm doing? So he wasn't troubled, traumatized, but his only trouble would be in anxiety if Gurudev really is happy with him or not. And I shared a room with that devotee, and sincerely at different times, because we are quite close, we are close to Gurudev. We are hearing so many things, so he hears private things and the public things. And he would ask me again and again, is Gurudev happy with me? You know, we say, Prabhu, you know he's happy with you. He told, no, but is he happy with me? He very much wants only that. And this was his open heart to Gurudev and inquiring and hearing from Gurudev. And Gurudev gave him instruction. And Gurudev gave him instruction because there was no other way. Because he and this devotee is Upadeśāmṛta Prabhu ṣaḍ-vidhaṁ, who we're thinking about. Gurudev used him as an example to us, to everybody, about receiving, inquiring and then receiving instruction. Because then Upadeśāmṛta Prabhu, and his full name, Upadeśāmṛta Prabhu ṣaḍ-vidhaṁ, Gurudev gave him a title in recognition of his seva. And Upadeśāmṛta Prabhu never gave any hint of what he preferred to do. When there was sometimes in life you come to a roundabout, and which exit on the roundabout are we meant to take? And then he also come to a roundabout on the journey, and he can do this, this, or this. Now this time has come when some decision where he's going at the moment. Now there's 3 alternatives from this point. And he would come and simply explain to Gurudev his circumstance and say, what would you like me to do? And then Gurudev would think, but he would ask him, what would you prefer to do? And absolutely he would say, no, Gurudev, whatever you want me to do, that I will do. I have no preference. I only want to please you. I mean, so beautiful relationship, and we can see such a thing. And then Gurudev had to give him instruction for doing something, because he's not going to move without his instruction. And Gurudev said, this is my heavy responsibility, because I taking full responsibility for what he will do. When somebody says, oh, I think I'll do this, is it okay to do that? Then Gurudev says, yes, okay. But there the devotee has definitely got his hand in the result, if you like, taking responsibility. Later the devotee can say, oh, I thought it was a good idea, but it didn't work out very well. But Gurudev, he's not going to give that kind of maybe instruction. And it is that devotee who opened up China to our devotee family, means, as Gurudev will see, opened up China to Guru Maharaj. And that is a very great gift, very greatest thing. And that Upadeśāmṛta Prabhu ṣaḍ-vidhaṁ, very dear to him. And we've seen so many, we are fortunate to have seen so many devotees, direct interaction with Guru Maharaj and with Gurudev. But how we structure the question, that will come from the heart, but it must be respectful. But how the Guru or the Vaishnava will give the answer, that is from their side. And if somebody asks you advice, if somebody opens their heart to you, oh, what advice can you give me? You try to think of Gurudev as best you can, of Guru Maharaj the best you can, and think, what will they advise to this devotee? And it will always be Krishna conscious advice. Krishna, because maybe you made a little hint, should they go to the psychologist or should they do something in devotion? And Gurudev is very clear that the psychologist may do something, but they're not taking the cause of the problem away, if it is that kind of a problem. So a good doctor needs to remove the cause of the boil, the cause of this, the cause of that, the cause of the pain. Yes, another question here. And I'll repeat the question because I know it's a long way from the microphone. How to stay calm and neutral. Okay. How to stay calm and neutral in any situation. be a perfect devotee. Because we can think, if we, I mean, really, it may sound like a flippant answer, but do you know about Haridas Thakur and how he was heavily persecuted by the government? This is 500 years ago. But he was whipped and ordered by the magistrate to be whipped to death. If not, he doesn't die in the first place, you take him, then again you do, then again you do. And normally, and this is in the older time, when these things happened as punishment, being publicly whipped. And normally somebody will die the first time, second time, third time. But for 22 marketplaces, Haridas Thakur was whipped, and he just continued. And then the people who are exerting the punishment, they say, please, you die. We've been ordered to kill you. If you don't die, we will die. He will kill us because we haven't done our job to kill you. And so then Haridas Thakur, by spiritual capacity, because he was pure, then he showed death. They threw him in the Ganges, he floated down the Ganges, and then he got out further down and continued his chanting Hare Krishna. And so really, if we are 100% pure, then we can be neutral and calm in every position. And he was so neutral, he had compassion on those who were beating him. He did not want them to suffer. So he said, okay, I'll die. I'll show death. And then he showed death. They showed his body to the magistrate. Okay, satisfied. Then he said, okay, throw him in the Ganges. Put in the Ganges. Then came, by his own mystic way, came back. Because we are not the body. And so really, for us, we have to take a proper nourishment and know the ideal. And when we are, if we are in a very difficult situation, then only our relief will come from taking shelter. And how to take shelter in the holy name and the Vaishnavas, but we always have the holy name with us in every circumstance. But in one day, we cannot expect to change our mentality from monster to saint. So it's a journey.
And what qualities do I need to improve for self-contentment?
For
Self-contentment.
what quality do I need to improve for my self-contentment? Well, if I wasn't sitting in the master's seat, I will pass this around and say, okay, because we have to develop the quality of devotion in like one thing, because in actual surrender, sharanagati, which is the whole basis of devotion, we've been now those first two verses are how we put into practice our surrender. We control our urges and we avoid the things which will destroy our devotional life. And this is also that as a measure of surrender, we're giving up things we want to do, if you like, in a method of surrender. So there are many parts to the answer, but the whole answer is be as good a devotee as possible. Whatever tips you have got so far, put them into practice and constantly chant the holy name of the Lord. Everybody can chant the holy name of the Lord. We don't wait until we are perfect. Otherwise, probably none of us will be chanting Hare Krishna. We have the hope that, not only the hope, we have enthusiasm, we have confidence, we have patience, that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, by associating with the devotees, by following the guidance, then we are being taken to the place not only of contentment of this world, but the place of inner fulfillment, which is positive, And in fact, contentment at all, by whatever way we individually may feel it, cannot be substantial without giving our energy. So even great businessmen who are exploiting anything, generally they're also doing charity, because they realize, I should do charity, I should give my energy. And giving is a higher quality of contentment than ripping people off, which is official ripping people off. That's business. You buy something for a few rupees and sell it for 1 million, 1 crore rupees. And then, oh, I'm a very good businessman and some good taste coming. I just made 1 million rupees. Oh, okay. Some kind of a taste, but there is a different taste to giving 1 million rupees and helping. But that was within the material sphere. But just think of the wonderful taste that you get something and you give everything to the Lord, and the Lord is satisfied and He is happy. And that kind of reciprocation, that kind of contentment is the best. And more valuable than anything in the world is devotion, heart transaction. So we want to give our heart to the Lord and to the devotees.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. And at home, at work, and in the office, anybody would like to ask a question while getting paid, or while relaxing at home, or before going to work? Anyone would like to ask a question? Yes, I can see Seva-rupa Devirasi here, but I can only see one screen, and we've got our masters. Seva-rupa Devirasi. From South Africa, all the way from South Africa. Yes.
Dadāti Maharaj and Dadāti dear devotees. So I think the question is also stems from our homework, but like word association, and I know we've heard this as well, and still trying to put it into practice, that how important association is. And thank you to what we have, a modern day association. We can associate online as well. But associating when you're not with devotees and you have to work and be in the office and with your family if they aren't devotional, maybe some advice about that. How do we then, I suppose, keep our own association, keep our level of consciousness in our trying to associate with devotees and sadhus and Vaishnavas when we're not in the physical association, but and how to not let associating with families or friends or work colleagues not influence us negatively. I mean, like if we have to also share like things we bring from home, that type of thing, but still protecting our own Krishna consciousness in that way. Something to that effect.
Oh, okay. So one thing that came in my mind while you are saying this to me, and about how to have the sadhu association and be a little aloof from the non-sadhu, means non-devotional association, like the family if they're not Krishna conscious, like the work, etc. Your boss is not nearby? She is at work. We know that. Anyway, that Srila Guru Maharaj is tells us about these 6 forms of association: giving gifts, receiving gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, enquiring confidentially, giving and prashadam, giving foodstuff, and taking the remnants. That if we do this with the devotees, then we will gain their devotional qualities. If we do this with the materially minded people, we will get their devotional qualities. So we want to be a little selective about where we are revealing our mind in confidence, where we are engaging in these different activities. We want to be selective. So association with the regular people at work, in the shop, and everything else, that doesn't mean that you're following these processes, which are the processes for really getting the qualities of those you associate with. You have to do your necessary duties, both to family and to work and to society. But that is out of dutifulness, and the end also is not for a selfish purpose. This we have to also know. We are to do our duty in the world. Everybody must do something to eat, as Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. But we must make everything Krishna-centered. So we will adjust any circumstance in Krishna consciousness. But the 6 processes, oh, there you are. The 6 processes for our favorable journey in devotional life, we shall apply those to the devotees. And I know in South Africa, probably Christmas is there. Don't be don't be mean to your family. Do give gifts and accept gifts at Christmas time. Santa Claus, don't block the chimney so Santa Claus cannot come down the chimney. But you're doing it in a different context, and also with the family, you're doing it in the context. You want them to have a favorable environment where they will accept Krishna consciousness. You don't want them to think you're a very mean person, not going to give you any gift on Christmas Day, like this, depending on the culture you're in. So everything has to be taken in the perspective, the practical application. So devotees have a heart. And not only have a heart, the devotees have the softest heart. That's why they do not like to see that people only in the enjoying spirit and divine and denying the Lord. They don't like to see devotees people going on that path, because although it looks very sweet and wonderful now, the devotees know with their soft heart this is going to bring a big problem. And some of you here with us, you know that we just read in Bhagavatamrita. I've been asked to speak a little slower, sorry, the translators. We just read in Sri Bhagavatamrita, really beautiful section where Chitragupta, the scribe of Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, who metes out the judgment. He's not mean, but if you've done wrong, you have to accept the chastisement. As one of our devotees used to say, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Well, Chitragupta, he keeps a record of all this, the crimes of the people and the good things that they do. But he and his team of scribes, they were crying, thinking of how much suffering is awaiting Jagai and Madai. These people are so bad. How will they tolerate the reactions to what they are doing now? So, an illustration, they have a soft heart, not for how nasty they are at the moment, because they seem to be quite happy with their nastiness, the Jagai and Madai. But what will be the suffering for that repayment? So the devotees have a soft heart. They see what's going to happen in the future for those who are not Krishna-centered, Krishna-conscious, or trying to go in that direction. And so we must try to help everybody. And part of that help to everyone is we'll have a heart in the regular sense for our family, for our associates at work, etc. But the the purpose ultimately will be that our family will grow up Krishna conscious wise, that we can influence those in our office with prasadam, with just a word or two now and again about Krishna. Maybe they can hear some bhajan that you're playing of Gurudev speaking, some good way that you can influence the people to know more about Krishna. And sometimes just wearing kantimala brings questions from your colleagues, brings questions from the people at the airport, brings questions. We just answer the questions. And oh, we devotee of Krishna. Who's Krishna? He's a black, naughty boy who steals butter. Oh, okay, very wonderful. But you could maybe have another approach, but in some inappropriate approach for who we're speaking to. So the practical dealings were not inhuman, but everything we must try to dovetail with Krishna consciousness for the benefit of those around us, because we don't want, especially our friends and family, we don't want them to suffer, but actually the whole world are our friends and family. It's just that we don't know those people. And really, one time I was sitting in the departure lounge at the airport. Maybe 200 people are sitting in the same place and they're all going somewhere. But if you see the people, if you just get to know any one of those people, you would care for them, for their future. I mean, but here, 200 people, you can't get to know 200 people within 20 minutes before you have to go for the flight. But Krishna can get to know everybody. He knows everybody. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wants to reach everybody. So he's given us the opportunity of seva to try to reach out. And it is his instruction that that everybody should go and tell others about Krishna, and don't think that you won't get backing from above. So we'll try to make a favorable environment for distributing Krishna consciousness. For what purpose? That your friends and everybody won't have to go through all that suffering for eating the cows, eating the pigs, eating the everything else. I mean, that's on a base level, but just to help raise them up. And so we'll be a good example to our materially minded associates, but for the purpose of helping them come forward. And this will make Gurudev happy. This will make Guru Maharaj happy. This is sure. They were very practical about living in the world and being a devotee. But the principles of interaction, the 6 forms of increasing loving relationship, if we do this with the devotees, we get those devotional qualities. If we do with the materialistic people, then we will increase our material qualities from them. So this is one magnetizing secret. What did we read this morning? We were reading something with this word secret. These secrets of devotional service. So these are more secrets that are coming out.
I think that's pretty well covered. We don't seem to have questions from anyone at home.
Well, I'm going longer than our allotted time without a guilty conscience, because we started later this morning. But I've been speaking too fast. Sorry, translators.
And we can mention.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to?
Yes. I've been asked to mention that because you are all so good and you've been now in 4 classes, at the beginning we said if you've been through 3, you've now attended 4 classes. We have a present, even nicely wrapped by the devotees. We have a present for every one of you, and that is this very thick Upadesamrta which is giving us more and more illumination on these 11 verses of Upadeśāmṛta. Earlier we said about 8, because the 8 verses are the verses of instruction. And then 9, 10, and 11 is when we've got good sense control, good behavior, good everything, understand how to associate, understand the treasure of the holy name. Then those last 3 verses are the treasure that we are being brought to. But there's only 11 verses explained in, I don't know how many pages, but a lot of pages, because it's sealed. But this is a gift for you all. But because it does cost money to send by mail, please, you have to apply for your gift to the same email address that you used to register for this course. And that email address is contact@Bhakti Yoga Institute, all one word, .com. contact@BhaktiYogaInstitute.com. And then the devotees here, by their good heart, and for all encouragement, they are giving these, offering free, but humbly asking a donation, at least to cover the mailing expense. And they're happy to distribute, to give to you as a gift wrapped with love by the devotees. I'm only the announcer. Oh, we got 2,000. Okay. Well, if you want more than one book, do say so. Yeah.
Okay.
And please do give your feedback if you have feedback about these talks. And they're looking after me. They're looking after you, and we can all give some feedback to the team. And there is a little team running here. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so that's the end of our class today, verse 4. Thank you all again. And we didn't have a chance to go through the homework, so we are hoping that you're working through that at your own pace at home, and that if there is something that doesn't make sense, that you either write into us or put up your hand during tomorrow's class. So thank you to Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Maharaj. No, today is Friday.
Oh, yes.
And yes, next week, yeah, we're running all next week, Monday to Friday, and then the following Monday is Srila Govinda Maharaj's disappearance festival, so there'll be no class that day. And
I can't, yeah, okay.
okay, and a special announcement. We have Keshavananda Prabhu just returned, and he will be starting a special reading group Sunday morning, starting this Sunday, 9 till 11 a.m.
Jai.
Search for Sri Krishna Reality, the Beautiful. And for anyone that knows Keshavananda Prabhu, he's a very, very engaging, enthusiastic reader and very easy to understand, even if your English isn't brilliant, because he's feeling what he's reading and he's sharing in such an animated, feeling kind of a way that it goes into the heart. That's the feedback that we've heard many times. So we're inviting everyone to join us this Sunday, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. UK time. And again, just email contact@bhaktiyogainstitute.com so that we can send you links, and we can also then make sure that you're tuned in to receive any notes or updates about that program and any other programs. So thank you all for joining us, and thank you to Saraswati Devidasi behind the camera. She's our amazing manager here at Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mott London. as Madhusudan Maharaj has said before, it's a very important branch of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and she is doing everything she can to look after the devotees, and is a really wonderful example of these 6 loving exchanges in practice. And we're really blessed to have her leadership here. It's true. So, Saraswati Devi Dasi ki
Jai.
jai.
We are all serving under Srila Gurudev and the Vaishnavas.
Jai.
Jai.
And we are team, it's a team effort,
Mhm.
really, it's a team effort. It's
And
not
you're a
one-
great example.
It's not one person's responsibility. We have here many qualified devotees, and they're all working together for the same cause.
Jai.
They're all working together in the same path. With the guidance of Madhusudan Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Sundar Govindadeva Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai.
Srila Prīti-lakṣaṇam Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai,
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat London chapter ki Jai,
Jai.
London Mat ki Jai,
Jai.
Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Sri Acharya Vrinda ki
Jai.
Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai,
Jai.
Kelly Karamana Devi ki Jai, and all the London team ki
Jai.
And we have Lavanya Majidini who just arrived.
Oh, yes.
Haribo.
She survived in ki Jai. And Sri Upadesamrta ki Jai, Sri Goswami ki Jai. All the devotees worldwide ki Jai, Sri Harinama Sankirtan ki Jai. God bless.
Hari.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Haribo.
Mhm.
Hare Krishna.